Have you ever felt like you were protected from something you couldn't see? What if I told you that God's protection surrounds you in ways more powerful than you realize? We often go through life unaware of the countless dangers we narrowly escape, both spiritually and physically. According to the teachings of Saint Pio of Pietrelcina, also known as Padre Pio, God's protection isn't just about the big miracles we hear about. It's in the quiet moments, the invisible shields we don't even realize are there. Every day, in ways both seen and unseen, God is actively working to safeguard our souls, guide our paths, and keep us from harm. Today, we'll explore 5 clear signs that God's protection is working in your life, signs inspired by Saint Pio's deep wisdom and faith. These signs might surprise you, opening your eyes to how God's grace surrounds and guides you in even the most ordinary moments. You may be wondering how God's protection touches your life on a daily basis, and by the end of this video, you'll discover some unexpected ways that He shields you from dangers you never even realized existed. Be sure to stay until the end, as we'll reveal a particularly powerful and often overlooked form of divine protection that could completely change how you understand your relationship with God. You won't want to miss this. To bring these teachings to life, let me share with you a lesser-known story about Mother Teresa that beautifully illustrates the essence of God's silent protection. While we know her as the saint who dedicated her life to bringing light to the poorest of the poor, her journey through the dangerous streets of Beirut in 1982 remains a profound example of faith in action and divine intervention. During this tumultuous time, Beirut was gripped by violent conflict, with bombings and gunfire echoing through the streets. The city was on the brink of chaos, and it seemed impossible for anyone to provide aid to the innocent children caught in the war zone. The media depicted a grim reality, showcasing the horrors of the war, yet amidst this despair, one woman felt compelled to act. Mother Teresa, driven by her unwavering faith and compassion, made a courageous decision. She would enter the heart of the conflict to rescue those who were suffering. Armed with nothing but her faith and a deep sense of purpose, she ventured into the most dangerous parts of the city. As she navigated through the rubble-strewn streets, the tension in the air was palpable. The sound of distant explosions and gunfire served as a constant reminder of the dangers surrounding her. However, as she moved forward, something remarkable began to unfold. Despite the relentless violence all around her, Mother Teresa walked unharmed through the chaos. Reports later emerged that many people, including soldiers and civilians, witnessed her passing through dangerous areas where others had been shot or injured. Witnesses described her as a beacon of light, radiating peace and serenity in the midst of turmoil. Many later regarded her survival during this perilous journey as a miracle, an undeniable sign of divine protection. It was as if an invisible shield surrounded her, guiding her steps and safeguarding her as she went about her mission. Mother Teresa did not merely rescue the orphans she encountered. She also brought a sense of hope and reassurance to those who were terrified and desperate. Her very presence was a testament to the love of God manifested through selfless service. What many don't realize is that this episode was not just a story of bravery. It was a testament to God's constant, unseen protection over those who serve Him with humility and love. Mother Teresa's journey encapsulates the teachings of Saint Pio, who emphasized that when we are aligned with God's will and actively seek to serve others, we become vessels of His divine grace. In times of uncertainty and danger, God often works through His faithful servants, shielding them from harm and empowering them to make a difference in the lives of those in need. Just as Saint Pio believed that prayer and a close relationship with God fortify us against life's adversities, Mother Teresa's actions remind us that when we step out in faith, God stands with us, even in the most hostile environments. This story serves as a powerful reminder that God's protection can manifest in unexpected ways, often through the courageous acts of individuals who choose to follow His call. It challenges us to reflect on our own lives. Are we open to being instruments of God's love, even when faced with challenges? Are we aware of the ways in which God protects us daily, often without our knowledge. As we consider these questions, let Mother Teresa's journey inspire us to trust in God's protection, knowing that we, too, are held in His loving embrace, guided by His light even in the darkest of times. As we reflect on Mother Teresa's remarkable journey, we begin to see the profound signs of God's protection that manifest in our lives, often in subtle yet powerful ways. Let's explore the first 5 of the 10 signs that indicate God's protective hand is at work in our lives, according to the teachings of St. Pio. Sign 1. Divine detours. When plans fall apart for a reason. God's delays are not God's denials. St. Pio. One of the first signs of God's protection in your life is when things don't go as planned. Have you ever experienced a sudden change in plans, only to realize later that it saved you from harm or misfortune? St. Pio often spoke about the divine detours that God places in our paths, guiding us away from dangers we cannot see. Perhaps you missed a flight, only to learn later that the plane had mechanical issues. It might feel frustrating at first, missed opportunities, closed doors, or unexpected obstacles. But these are sometimes God's hand gently redirecting you toward a safer, better path. In the moment, it's challenging to recognize that delay or change as protection. You might feel confused or even angry, questioning why your plans fell apart. However, as St. Pio reminds us, God's delays are not God's denials. Trust that when your plans go awry, it might be a blessing in disguise, saving you from future troubles. Ask yourself, has a roadblock in your life ever turned out to be a hidden blessing? Reflect on those moments and recognize the wisdom in God's timing. Sign 2. The gift of inner peace in chaos. One of the most compelling signs of God's protection is when you find an inexplicable sense of peace in the middle of chaos. Have you ever been in a stressful situation where, despite everything falling apart around you, you suddenly felt a calmness wash over you? This peace is not something we can create on our own. It's a direct gift from God. St. Pio taught that this inner peace serves as God's way of reassuring us that He is in control, even when life feels overwhelming. It's a reminder that God walks beside us, holding our hand through every storm. This peace doesn't mean you won't face challenges or feel fear. It simply means that amid trials, you can experience a profound sense of security. The next time you feel that deep calm in the midst of a storm, recognize it as God whispering, "You're safe. I am with you." It's a gentle nudge to trust Him, reinforcing the idea that you are never alone in your struggles. Sign 3. Unseen protection from spiritual battles. Prayer is the best weapon we have. St. Pio. St. Pio reminds us that we are constantly surrounded by spiritual warfare, battles we cannot see, but that are very real. One of the most profound signs of God's protection is His defense in these spiritual battles. Have you ever felt a sudden urge to pray or experienced a moment of unexpected peace after a particularly challenging day? That's not just coincidence. It's God intervening. St. Pio firmly believed that God equips us with the armor of faith to fend off these invisible attacks, often through prayer, sacraments, and the intercession of saints. Each time you are drawn to prayer unexpectedly, recognize it as God protecting you in the spiritual realm. These moments of divine inspiration are God's way of shielding your soul from the unseen enemies that seek to bring you down. It's a reminder to cultivate a habit of prayer, staying connected to the One who fights on our behalf, ensuring we remain vigilant and spiritually fortified. Sign 4. Unexpected help from strangers. Have you ever had a stranger appear in your life at just the right moment to help you when you need it most? This is one of the most beautiful signs of God's protection, often overlooked because it seems too coincidental. According to St. Pio's teachings, God frequently uses others, sometimes even people we don't know, to protect and guide us in times of need. Think back to that time you were stranded or lost, and someone unexpectedly offered assistance or directions. That's not mere luck. It's divine intervention. St. Pio teaches us that God's hand works through people, even strangers, to provide the help we need at crucial moments. These divine appointments remind us that we are never alone, no matter how isolated we may feel. They illustrate the beauty of God's love, manifesting through the kindness of others. So the next time you receive help from an unexpected source, take a moment to acknowledge it as a gift from God, a reminder that He sees you and cares for you deeply. Sign 5. Protection through suffering. This one may come as a surprise. Protection through suffering. Yes, even in our moments of greatest pain, God's protection is at work. St. Pio, who endured immense suffering in his own life, often said that through suffering, we are drawn closer to Christ and become more aware of God's presence. Suffering refines us, strengthens our faith, and ultimately protects us from greater spiritual dangers. Consider a time in your life when suffering felt unbearable, but afterward, you realized it helped you grow spiritually. Perhaps a difficult experience led you to deepen your prayer life or prompted you to reach out to others in need. That's God protecting you, not necessarily from the pain itself, but from being lost in it. The suffering teaches resilience, patience, and trust in God's plan. It shapes us into better versions of ourselves, equipped to face future challenges with grace and strength. Embrace the lessons learned through pain and recognize them as a part of God's protective embrace, guiding you ever closer to Him. God's protection is everywhere in our lives, but it's easy to miss if we're not paying attention. From divine detours to unexpected help from strangers, these signs are not just coincidences. They're evidence of God's loving hand over you. In the next part of this series, we'll dive deeper into 5 more ways God protects us according to St. Pio's teachings, revealing the often unnoticed but powerful ways we are safeguarded every single day. Let us know in the comments, which of these signs have you seen in your own life? How has God protected you in unexpected ways? If you felt God's protection in your life or want to learn more about how He is always present, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to join our growing Catholic community. Stay tuned for more content on faith, protection, and the wisdom of St. Pio. God bless.